या रसूल अल्लाह वसल्लम अलैका या हबीब
It is a blessings of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, Sadaqah of Huzur Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and Nazare Karam of Murshid Pak that I am standing here to present a short speech on the character, that's kirdar of our Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala. I am neither a scholar nor an alim, but since it is command of my Murshid Pak, I would try my level best to deliver this short speech. Nauman Ibn Sabit Ibn Zuti is the divine name of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala. He was born in 80 AH. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala is the visible miracle of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the integral miracle of Hazrat Ali radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Imam Abu Hanifa's paternal grandfather, Hazrat Zuti radiyallahu anhu, was a true lover and was very close to Hazrat Ali. He came to live in Kufa, the administrative capital of the great Khalifa, Hazrat Ali radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. When his son, that means Hazrat Nauman or Imam Abu Hanifa's father, when his son Hazrat Sabit radiyallahu anhu was a baby, Hazrat Zuti radiyallahu ta'ala anhu took Hazrat Sabit radiyallahu ta'ala anhu to Hazrat Ali radiyallahu anhu to make dua and gave glad tidings of much barakat. Consequently, Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala is the miracle and glad tidings of Hazrat Ali radiyallahu ta'ala. Just as Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the greatest messenger and Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiyallahu anhu is the greatest ghost, Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala Atabi is the greatest Imam. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told of his birth and spoke of his excellence. Hazrat Abu Huraira radiyallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if Imam was a bright star, some of the Persian ancestry would retrieve it. That's a hadith from Bukhari Sharif and Muslim Sharif. And Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala was of a Persian descent. Nur al-Jami reports that Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala said, we surrender ourselves to whatever is reported from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and from the companions radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. We give preference over the explanation of others and individual logic. We are not bounded to accept anything that is reported from other men. Instead, we will employ our ijtihad in reaching the conclusion. A great muhaddis, Imam Abu Yusuf rahmatullahi ta'ala, who is the teacher of Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal rahmatullahi ta'ala, sums up the knowledge and expertise of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala in the following words. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala had much more insight regarding authentic hadith than me. I haven't seen anyone more learned in the field of hadith than Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi announced that a narrator should only narrate a hadith if he remembered it completely from the day he heard it till the day he is narrating it. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi is acknowledged as the founder of fiqh. He rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi turned the systemization of fiqh around 120 AH. Imam Shafi rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi said, people are entirely dependent upon Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi in fiqh. Yahya bin Ma'in says that Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh was very reliable narrator and most trustworthy in explaining the laws of fiqh. He was regarded as the most reliable and reputable in regards to the deen of Allah Ta'ala. Now, I would like to just elaborate a little bit on the character, that's the kirdar of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh, and we can learn a lot of things from the kirdar of Imam, of our greatest Imam. His piety, that is taqwa, and faithfulness had no bounds. Praying was a joy to him, and he used to engage in it with great delight and sincerity. Accounts of his piety and devotion reached a degree of unbroken chain of uncontradicted narrations. Whilst performing his prayers or reciting the Holy Quran, he would be so overcome with feelings that he would start crying and go on doing this for hours. It has also been recorded that Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh performed Fajr Salah and Isha Salah with the same wuzu for 40 years. For 30 years on end, he fasted from day to day. It is also recorded that he completed 7,000 complete recitals of the Holy Quran in his lifetime. He used to complete a khatam of the Holy Quran every night in one rakat. Abu Mu'id Khwarizmi radiallahu anhu narrates that Abdullah bin Mubarak radiallahu anhu said, once a few goats were stolen in Kufa. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh asked about the average maximum age of a goat. When he was told that the average age of a goat was 7 years, our Imam did not eat goat meat for 7 years. He was scared that it might be the stolen goat. That's the taqwa of our Imam. And that's the taqwa we should adopt in our lives, particularly in regards to halal and haram. No matter whatever people say, don't go about the labels. There was a shop in Auckland, a Chinese shop. He was selling halal pork. He put a label there, halal pork so many dollars per kilo. So don't go by there. Apna taqwa ikhtiyar kijiye and safeguard ourselves. That's piety, taqwa. In a canal in Kufa, it's a river or a mura, a piece of meat was found, about which it could not be ascertained whether it was from a lawfully slaughtered animal. That means that piece of meat that was found in the mura, nobody could tell that whether it was a lawfully slaughtered halal meat or it was just a haram meat. So Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh abstained from eating fish for a long time. He did not eat fish from that river, just because that meat was there and he didn't know whether that meat was allowed or not, in case the fish ate that meat. Qazi Abu Yusuf states that Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh was extremely pious, avoided forbidden things, remained silent, and absorbed in his thoughts most of the time, and answered a question only if he knew the answer. He was very generous and self-respecting, never asked a favor of anybody. This one is a very great lesson for us. He never asked a favor of anybody. Why? A great advantage of this was that he could express truth without fear or favor. अगर हम किसी का एहसान ले ले तो हो सकता है कि उसके एहसान के जरिए से हम हक जो है ट्रूथ है उसको छुपाने की कोशिश करें, just because he did a favor. So for that reason our great Imam did not accept anybody's favor. However independent minded and frank a person may be, he cannot help being influenced by those from whom he accepts favors. Thus he retained his independence. Our great Imam avoided the company of worldly minded. He avoided slander and only talked good about people. You know what slander means? He avoided slander, gibbat. Hazrat Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh had a business trading in garments. He personally took care that no unlawful money came into his coffers. His objective in doing business was to make money and help others. He did business to make money to help others. He had fixed amounts set aside for his needy friends. So whatever the money he made, he kept fixed amount for his needy friends and contacts, and reserved a part of his profits for distribution amongst the scholars and muhaddis. Whenever he bought anything for his family, he would buy the same thing for the scholars and muhaddisin. He would help people who approached him. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh used to provide those of his pupils, his students, who were very poor with money for their house expenses. The students who were poor, he provided even for the house expenses of the students. So here there is a lesson for us again. We have got a madrasa here, we have got students here living. So at least we can contribute something every monthly for the food and for the basic necessities of the students, because we don't charge anything to the students. So that's another lesson. That's one of the characters, the kirdar of our great Imam we can implement in our lives. Why he did that? Why he did that? So that the students could concentrate on the studies rather than concentrating at home, the poverty at home. So when there is poverty at home, it's natural. A student will not be able to concentrate in his school work. So that's why the reason he provided for their necessities at home, so that the students could concentrate in their studies. Many poor people who were too poor to meet the expenses of education were educated with his help and attained high positions. Despite his wealth and high position in the society, the Imam was extremely gentle and polite. He often used to say that he had never cursed anybody, never taken revenge from anybody, and never done harm to a Muslim or non-Muslims who live in Islamic states. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh never deceived anybody and never broke a promise. Don't forget, we have made a promise in the hands of our Pir Sahib, as I said yesterday. So let's keep our promise. Once Imam Sahib was lecturing a young man who was not a regular student of his. So he was lecturing somebody who was not a regular student. The student put a question to him on hearing the answer and said, Imam Abu Hanifa, your answer is wrong. So that student, the irregular, who was not a regular student, he said to the Imam that your answer is wrong. And then one of his regular students, well, anybody who says something like that to our Ustad, who will actually get angry. Anybody will get angry, isn't it? So the other student, one of his regular students, angered by this, shouted to other students. Here is a youngster speaking rudely to the Imam, and nobody seems to be bothered. The Imam then said, I'm here to give people the opportunity of pointing out my mistakes freely, and I must listen to them patiently. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh was tender-hearted and was greatly disturbed by other people's pain and sorrow. One day, while he was teaching in the masjid, someone came with the news that a certain man had fallen from the roof of his house. He cried out loudly, left the class, and ran barefoot to the man's house and attended to him. He visited the man every morning till he had fully recovered. but distressed as he was by other people's sufferings, he endured his own sufferings with calmness, which surprised people. Patience and being firm in his beliefs were inborn in him. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh was a man of few words and never took part in irrelevant talk. So we can learn another lesson. In his classroom, he would sit quietly, letting his pupils freely debate among themselves, and would speak only when the discussion became long drawn out without any conclusions. Those who have been to universities and other places, you know that the lecturers, your pupils put you in groups to discuss and make conclusions. So he left the students to do their own conclusions, and he only intervened if they could not reach a conclusion. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh avoided speaking ill of people behind their backs and would often thank Allah Ta'ala for saving his tongue from contaminated with this evil. So he never spoke ill of other people. He thought it wrong to swear and always abstain from it. In order to enforce this upon him, he had taken a vow that every time he committed the error, if he committed an error, this error that I'm talking about, like talking about something about somebody, he would pay a voluntary penalty of 1 dirham. Once he did commit it accidentally, thereupon he raised the penalty to 1 dinar. When he was asked as how he acquired his high position in deen and the great treasures of Islam, he replied, I never acted miserably. Miserably means kanjusi. I never acted miserably with knowledge that Allah Ta'ala blessed with me. I always shared it with the people. It's a lesson for us. If we know something, or we should take an initiative to learn and propagate. And I never regarded it to be below my dignity to seek knowledge from the scholars. So he never said, his was that he didn't feel small by coming asking and people or scholars to learn something. So that was basically the kirdar, the character of our great Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh. I'll just briefly go through very quickly some of the guidance that our Imam gave us so we can implement in our life. To retain knowledge, make its inward state the same as the outward state. So that means we learn the outward knowledge as well as the inward knowledge. Attain knowledge in your youth. That's when your mind and heart are unoccupied. Pray for forgiveness for your teachers. Make time for yourself. Dress in new clothes and put on perfume customarily. Ignore things that don't concern you. Respect your elders. Compliment those who speak badly of you. So somebody is speaking badly of you, you give them a compliment. Treat others as you would treat yourself. Don't be apologetic when speaking the truth. So when you have to say haq, say it. Don't ask forgiveness for it. Even if it is before a king. Do not go to the market unnecessarily. Do not laugh excessively, as it kills the heart. Do not sit with the innovators, except to call them to the writers. Don't be a miser, don't be a conjure, as it makes a person hated. Do not become a teller of tales, as a tale teller has to lie. You know what it means? यहाँ के बाद हुआ, वहाँ के बाद गया, यहाँ के बाद हुआ, वहाँ के गया. उसमें आपको झूठ बोलना पड़ता है. So don't be a teller of tales, as a tale teller has to lie. Dress in white clothes in all situations. Always remind yourself of death. Always remind yourself of death. So those are the few guidelines of Hazrat Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, in the year 150, the decoration of the world will be taken away. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi passed away in 150 AH, and his mazar is in Baghdad Sharif. A great muhaddith, Imam Abu Yusuf rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi, who is the teacher of Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal rahmatullahi alayhi, sums up the knowledge and expertise of Imam Abu Hanifa in the following words. I have already said that to you. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi passed away, as I tell you, in 150 AH in Baghdad. In Makkah, Ibn Jurayj said, a great scholar has passed away. Shuba B. al-Hajjaj, one of the Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala's teachers and Imam of Basra, said, Kufa has been plunged into darkness. His mazar was for years and still his famous holy place of ziyarat for Muslims for all over the world. Allah तबारक व तआला हम सबको अपने इमाम के किरदार को अपनाने की तौफीक अता फरमाए और हम सबको सिरात मुस्तकीम पर चलने की तौफीक अता फरमाए। अगर बोलने कहने में कुछ गलती हो तो अल्लाह तबारक व तआला से माफ़ी के तलबगार हैं। अस्तगफिरुल्लाह रब्बी मिन कुल्ली ज़ंबिन व अतूबु अलैह।